Went to Brazil. Then why would you fly to Brazil?
Crazy.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm flying back in 2 more weeks.
Is that right? So you will go to a hooker.
Yeah, in a minute.
Oh,
man.
you will?
I will.
Some
but
guys
Brazil,
won't. Yeah.
they selling dreams.
Right.
They're not selling.
What do you mean by that?
They sell you what you're looking to buy.
Really?
Yes.
So let me understand something. You go there. You don't go like with one of those groups that like teach you how to meet these women. Where do you go to meet them? How do you know how to do all this?
Outside, and they don't just all come. Like every girl's not. They have a system.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This your man Marcus A. Brown once again, and today I want to talk about a very trending topic, a very controversial topic. And for those of y'all who know me or have been following me for a while, you already know this is a topic. It's really an old topic that I've been talking about for a while in different sectors of the manosphere, different sectors of the internet. But it's finally becoming a trending topic that we can openly discuss within the manosphere. So without any further ado, I want to talk about dating versus prostitution. Now, first things first, let me start by saying I'm glad that this has finally become a conversation because it's been a long time coming for various reasons. And for those of y'all that heard my interviews with Solo TV84 or O'Shea Duke Jackson, shout out to both of those brothers, by the way, and I thank them for having me on their platforms. But y'all know from the chat and the comments that the opinions on dating versus prostitution has been pretty much split down the middle. For example, I know some of y'all saw in the chats and in the comment sections, and some of y'all even hit me up personally afterwards. Shout out to everybody that follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. But some of y'all are like, yes, nigga, yes. Like, finally somebody openly says this shit because niggas been quietly listening to the whole never pay for pussy argument for the longest within the black manosphere. And then on the other hand, some of y'all are like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, who does that? And apparently, it's a lot more niggas than some of y'all may think. Or at least a lot more niggas that's open to listening to that side of the argument. This is what it really is, and this is why I wanted to open this discussion. I know a lot of y'all niggas didn't really think that so many men would agree with me or even have their own stories that are similar to mine when it comes to their perspectives on dating versus prostitution. And just to reiterate, just to verify my position on this so it won't be taken out of context, this is my position on dating versus prostitution, on spitting game versus just buying a bitch or renting a bitch, however you want to look at it. I keep saying there's a time and a place for spitting game, okay? My objective is not to completely dismiss game in the ways that some of you brothers may want to completely dismiss sex tourism or legalized prostitution. So do I think men should buy pussy by any means necessary? No. On the flip side, do I think that men should only be limited to spitting game and exerting all of their time and energy and attention just to get some pussy? Not to get respect, not to make friends, not to make a bitch fall in love with you just for some pussy? No. Now, do I think men should have the option and the freedom to do either or on a case-by-case basis, depending on the circumstances, depending on the laws, depending on the location, depending on that nigga's pockets? You know what I'm saying? If everything is in his advantage, then yeah. Hell yeah. That's my position. All right? So if you've listened this far and you can't comprehend what I just said, then nothing I say is going to resonate with you moving forward. But it's still all good. Because see, I got what I wanted already. All I wanted was for this to be a conversation in the manosphere for two reasons. First, when it comes to the red pill and the black manosphere and the matrix and whatever else you want to call it with brothers waking up, all I hear niggas talking about is this pimping and macking and game shit. Not that I want that to stop. Like I said, I believe there's a time and a place for that, and we got some real talented brothers that when they speak on that, they doing what they do best, alright? But I'm cut from that MGTOW cloth, alright? Whether niggas like it or not, whether niggas think MGTOW is lame or not, the fact of the matter is the whole point of the red pill initially was to take brothers out of the blinders of this gynocentrism and making everything centered around women and pussy, alright? So before this conversation came up, all we was really hearing was a black remix of the same PUA rhetoric. Now, naturally, because we're men, unless you're one of those 100,000 level MGTOWs, you gon' want to get some pussy somewhere down the line, even if it's just a hit it and quit it, alright? And have you choose to do it, that's up to you. That's your power of choice. But when it comes specifically to the black manosphere, if we're not talking about building meaningful relationships of substance with women, be it marriage or having kids, trying not to get fucked over by the system, all we really talking about is trying to get some pussy, and we can only do it within the manosphere, walking this real thin line between simping and pimping, and everybody's dick policing each other over what's simping, what's pimping, how you should be talking to a bitch, how you shouldn't be talking to a bitch, when reality is all we care about is getting pussy. Niggas ain't talking about spitting games so they can have meaningful relationships. That would bring up the conversation of child support and legalities and all of the other legal ramifications that we already familiar with. So ain't nobody talking about nothing but trying to get some pussy. This is just men trying to be cool to other men while doing it. So that's the first reason for me wanting to start this discussion. The second reason I wanted this discussion to take place is because I know, and I don't have to expose niggas, they know who they are, but I know that there are men on the internet, men in and out of the Manosphere, that go to these foreign countries and they do the same thing that I did. But if it was up to them niggas, they would have y'all believe that they just go to other countries and they just them niggas. Or that everybody loves the black man. Come on down to Brazil, my brother. Come on down to Cuba. Come on down to the Dominican Republic. They love today's a black man. Fuck up out of here. Some of these niggas on Instagram, some of these niggas on Facebook. I've been waiting, nigga. I've been waiting, nigga. I've been waiting for one of these niggas to just be honest and just say that shit exists. Whether they participate in it or not, say that shit exists, but they never do. They all just travel and they act like the shit don't exist and they act like they just gonna instantly be the shit because they black. Fuck out of here. Fuck up out of here. But me, on the other hand, I know that I'm the only nigga that's ratchet enough, that's going my own way enough, that don't give a fuck enough about what y'all think, to the point where somebody had to do it. Guess what? I had to do it. I'm the only nigga that was gonna do it. I'm talking about kicking off this conversation. And let me say this too, because I've said this before in the interviews. There are other sectors of the internet, other sectors of YouTube that openly discusses sex tourism and prostitution. So why hasn't the Black Manosphere done that? Why isn't niggas just flexing in the DR, flexing in Brazil, come on down to Brazil, and ain't nobody say the shit? I ain't saying you gotta tell on yourself, but at least say, hey, this shit is available, nigga. Motherfuckers ask me what I'm doing, I'm down there like, hey, G, this what it is, this what it ain't. I've never had a problem being 100 with my shit, and I know that's part of the reason niggas don't want to fuck with me, because I open my big fucking mouth. I've been through the same shit with these fake-ass pro-blacks. I've been through the same shit with these niggas paying to get on the radio. I just say what it is. Whoever mad, they mad. Fuck them. But I know in doing that, I'm giving other niggas options. I'm giving other niggas information so that they can make a decision on if that's something they want to be a part of or not. Alright, niggas, that's enough of my preaching voice shit. I ain't finna keep hollering and screaming. So, I guess I got the authority to speak on this now since I've done both dating and prostitution. So what I would like to do now is to take this time to review some of the major talking points on both sides of the argument, and then I'll just express my own personal thoughts on both sides. So, let's get into it. So, as of now, these are some of the arguments I've heard against legal prostitution. First things first, niggas say that the shit is simping. They say that paying for pussy is simping. My response to that is, how is it simping if you're getting what you want? We've all talked about simping all the time in the Manosphere prior to this conversation, and everyone's general definition of a simp is a man who overexerts himself and doesn't get what he wants. Specifically, doesn't get what he wants out of his interactions with women. In this case, we talking about paying for pussy. We not talking about paying for friendship. We ain't talking about paying for respect. We ain't talking about paying for love. We talking about paying for some ass, nigga. Alright? If that's the case, then it's a simple transaction. You get what you want. There is no taking L's unless you get robbed or get burnt or some shit. So how's that simping? Now, let me switch hats and play devil's advocate for the people who are against legalized prostitution in response to another rebuttal that I heard on the opposing side. Some of the brothers who are in favor of paying for sex or legalized prostitution, they use the argument that the only reason that some niggas feel like they can't pay for pussy is because they don't have no money to begin with, or because they broke niggas, and that's the only reason they think that way. Now, while I think there is a degree of truth to that, I will not say that that's entirely true. The reason I say that is because it wasn't that long ago that I was on that same side of the fence with the brothers who say I ain't paying for no pussy, and I was making the type of money that I'm making now. So nothing much has really changed but my perspective. But just because a brother chooses to follow the code of quote unquote not paying for pussy doesn't mean he doesn't have any money or never had any money. It simply means that the money and the resources and the time and the energy that he does have, he feels that he's allocating all of these assets into other things that, since it's not directly pussy, then he's not directly paying for sex or attention from women. This is how niggas buy all type of cars, big houses, fancy clothes, expensive gadgets and jewelry and shit like that. And this is also how people spend money on dates, on women who utilize them for all of that attention, before and after they decide to give a man some ass. This is whether you believe she would have gave you ass on the first day or not. There is a such thing as some women wanting to give niggas ass just off GP, and there's also such a thing as thoughts that would pretty much fuck anybody. So no one is disputing the fact that you don't have to upfront directly pay for pussy. We're just saying that some of the men who may be paying for pussy indirectly find ways to rationalize their expenses in a way where they can say, no, I didn't pay for that pussy. I might have paid for a date, I might have paid for some drinks, but I didn't pay the bitch to have sex with me. And that's just the way that they choose to personally rationalize the way that they offer their own utility to women, which, by the way, doesn't guarantee sex in the same way that paying for it would. However, it does increase the likeliness and the slight chance, which is what a lot of niggas prefer to operate on, the slight chance of getting pussy from women without feeling guilty or ripped off about it. Now, another common talking point that I hear from both men and women is the concern of STDs and getting burnt. Like I said with O'Shea and Solo, you can get burnt anywhere in the world, so that should be a concern wherever you are. On top of that, y'all gotta give me a real concern, G. That's not a real concern, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not a real concern. Cause this niggas out here that's raw dogging hoes or getting raw top from these hoes every day, G. In the hood, all through different cities, different states, all throughout the US. Even if you getting pussy for the so-called free, if that shit ain't 100% protected, my nigga, then you full of shit. That's why I say it's not a real concern when they bring that talking point up, because these women out here ain't protecting themselves like they pretend to, especially if they having kids out of wedlock and on birth control. Come on, fam. These niggas ain't protecting themselves like they pretend to either, especially if you eat pussy. Nigga, listen, if y'all niggas out here eating pussy and you not wrapping that shit up, you eating raw pussy, you not protecting yourself. So get the fuck up out of here with that fake ass STD concern shit, because like I said, you can get burnt here, there, anywhere. Let's be a whole 1000%. All y'all niggas that claim y'all getting all this ass for free, how many of y'all niggas getting these hoes tested before y'all smash? How many of y'all niggas got enough game to say, shorty, I like you, I want to smash, let's go get tested. I'm going to get tested, you going to get tested before we smash. No matter how unromantic that shit is. Y'all niggas got enough game, y'all should be able to do that. So how many of y'all is actually getting these hoes tested before or after y'all smash? Keep it a fucking 100. And look, I ain't expecting y'all to agree with everything I say, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm not finna be out here raw dogging no prostitutes. I'm damn near too paranoid to raw dog bitches that I know. But I know some of you dirty dick niggas do that shit. That's why I say it's not a real concern. Y'all just using it as a talking point against legalized prostitution. Now, this is another one that I hear that I laugh at when I hear this shit, because I don't understand why people think this is a talking point. They say that some of these dudes that never had bad bitches before gotta do that because they can't fuck these type of hoes back in the States. And to that I say, yeah, that's kind of the fucking point, don't you think? I mean, let's get out our feelings and think about this for a minute. Wouldn't it be even dumber if a motherfucker go to a whole nother country where prostitution is legal to turn around and pay to have sex with the same type of chicks they can have in the fucking States? Also, some of these people don't take into consideration the difference of femininity outside of the U.S. And that's the point that makes me want to agree with the niggas that say, these niggas just broke, they don't travel, they ain't never been nowhere. So they don't really know that there's a difference. You know, they got a totally limited perspective on how the shit actually works, and it's no way you can really give that to them because they never been nowhere. But if they were ever able to travel somewhere, not for the sake of prostitution, but if they just so happen to be somewhere where that was the case and that was the culture, then they would see that the dynamics is totally different. So the whole mentality and the whole approach of a sex worker abroad will be nothing like the bitches out here in the United States where the shit is illegal. But let me tell y'all how the shit works for those of y'all who think it's just this cold, callous transaction. When you're in an atmosphere where all these women are trying to do business with you, you are a fucking customer, okay? If she don't know how to act, or if you ain't feeling her, or she ain't feeling you, then the bitch is fired before she ever gets hired. You don't do business with any bitch that got an attitude. It's too much competition for her out here for you to even waste your time or money like that. So that's how I know y'all niggas don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. But it's all good. I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm just telling you, you don't know what you're talking about. Every girl that I've been with, whether we fucked or not, she enjoyed my company. If not, she could get the fuck out. You don't have to pay for pussy to have that principle. But again, I hate to say it, but this is probably coming from niggas who either never been nowhere or they've never been exposed to a culture where legal-ass prostitution has actually affected the dating market. This is one of the reasons I'm a strong advocate for it. That's why I speak about it so openly. It ain't about just paying for pussy. This shit changes the entire way that men and women interact with each other because it takes a lot of the leverage and the advantage that these self-entitled bitches in the States have. because the idea of a woman selling sex for money is so taboo and so socially unacceptable and illegal to the point where it's just another part of the black market. It's the same as alcohol during the Prohibition era, or the same with weed. And I don't even smoke weed, but I get it. When you make something illegal or you try to ban something, that doesn't make it go away. It just forces it into other countries, which then makes it a whole ethical argument when it comes to labor and prices and taking advantage of the economic differences in foreign countries. Or it just sends it into the black market where it's only available through criminal elements of society. But besides all that, getting back to y'all talking point, because see, I'm going to be fair, I'm going to look at both sides. To y'all point, yeah, some men really may feel intimidated by beautiful women at the crib. I think that's a weak argument against legalized prostitution, but I wouldn't dispute that point. But I don't feel intimidated by beautiful women at the crib. You want to know one of my personal issues, like a problem that I have internally when it comes to beautiful women now? When it comes to looks and physical appearance, since that's all most of y'all niggas see, when I'm around beautiful women at the crib nowadays, all I can think to myself is, I fucked a bitch like that before. Or I had one of them before. Or sometimes I could be looking at every chick in the room and I'm thinking to myself, I fucked way better bitches than this before. Way happier bitches than this before. And I gotta laugh to myself because I'm just a ratchet ass little nigga and I'm comfortable around them whether they comfortable around me or not because of their own personal bias, not mine. So I can't speak for every man because experiences affect every man differently. But for me, it's not a matter of being uncomfortable around beautiful women in the U.S. I'm just not impressed. I'm not moved to go out of my way to do or say shit to these hoes unless I know them personally or they just cool as hell. And for that reason, sometimes I gotta flirt around just for the sake of flirting, just for the sake of staying sharp because I don't want to be completely lazy. But at the end of the day, I'm not thirsty. That's the difference between me and you niggas. I don't have to be thirsty. That comes from the mindset of been there, done that. Because I've been there and I've done that. And so that's why I just be laughing at these thirsty niggas that's going so hard to impress these hoes. So that's my problem, if you even consider that to be a problem. I don't think it's a problem. I think the shit is hilarious. So moving forward with the common talking points, this next one comes not from the interview comment section, but from my nigga Minister Jap. And let me say this about Jap too, G. Like, y'all niggas stop trying to pin me against Minister Jap. Alright? I know Jap. I done chopped it up with Jap. I done been on this show. I know that nigga. That nigga knows me. I know he ain't gonna agree with me on this shit. I'm not gonna try to get him to. Y'all niggas try to start some beef type shit. That's my nigga. We agree on a lot of things, but he gonna stick to his guns on that one. I'm gonna stick to my guns on mine. So y'all stop all this sneak dissing and sneak trying to pin us against each other. That shit ain't gonna work. Alright, so anyway, my nigga Minister Jap say, when you give a woman money for sex, or if you're offering money to fuck her, you are subconsciously or indirectly saying that her pussy is worth more than your dick. Alright, that's how he interprets this. Based on that same premise, if that's what you niggas want to believe, or if that's the argument y'all want to use, I would say, if you give a woman anything that doesn't result in an instant and equal exchange, the nigga, you still saying she's more valuable than you. You just ain't got to sex yet. Think about that for a minute and let me elaborate on it. Alright, y'all, check it out. Now, based on what Minister Jap is saying, if I see a shorty I want to smash and I walk up to her and I make her an offer, man, this is in an environment where prostitution is legal. If I say, shorty, I'm feeling you, I'm trying to smash, boom, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, it don't even matter if I offer this bitch a dime, G. Anything of nominal value. If it ain't this dick, you know what I'm saying? If I would just walk up to shorty like, hey, shorty, do this dick though. Then somehow I'm communicating to her that her pussy is worth more than my dick. Alright, obviously I'm joking around a little bit, but can y'all see how this can become a slippery slope if you limit yourself to this way of thinking, right? So if you paying a bitch to fuck, that's like the most direct form of exchange, and almost anybody can do it. But even if you don't go about it that way, niggas can still lord over you in different ways. They can say, well, I see you went out to eat with shorty, who paid for that? Or, why did you take that bitch out to eat? Or, why are you spending so much time with this chick? Or, why you even say hi to the bitch? She ain't say hi to you. You saying she's more valuable than you. Why are you offering anything? She needs to just come do this dick off GP, nigga, because of who you are. And if you ain't that nigga, then you need to listen to me, because I'm going to tell you how to be that nigga. And this is when we get into what I call dick policing and PUA rhetoric. See, when it comes to PUA rhetoric, which is different from dating advice, this has nothing to do with relationships and friendships. I'm talking about being able to pull a bitch and have sex with her. When it comes to that, Niggas don't want you to be able to fuck all the same bitches they can fuck. They'll tell you to tune in. They'll tell you to donate and subscribe to their newsletters and all this shit so that they can teach you the secrets of how to fuck these hoes, but they really don't want you to be able to fuck the same bitches they can fuck. Legal-ass prostitution is an equalizer. And I hate that I gotta say it this way, but this is the truth. For the lame niggas, for the socially awkward niggas, for the niggas who would pay for another nigga to tell them how to get pussy, if they knew they could just pay for the pussy, it would be no need for PUA rhetoric. Y'all would have to switch that whole game up, and it would actually have to be about establishing a relationship with a woman of substance. But if the so-called educated lame nigga or the socially awkward nigga just wanna fuck, he don't want a relationship, and a nigga like me told him like, hey, go over here, go over there, you can do what you wanna do, then all of a sudden that macking and game shit ain't as important and it ain't as interesting. But these niggas will openly tell you they don't want this conversation going on. They wanna brush this type of shit off as simping and silence it, because it takes away from their influence on these thirsty niggas that they know half of them ain't gonna get laid, and it takes away from their audience. And the funny thing about it, G, I keep saying this, it ain't even that deep. This shit ain't that deep, G. It's not. But what makes it deep is being able to see how many brothers actually agree with the shit, how many brothers didn't experience it, and they attesting to what I'm saying, like, hey, this nigga's talking some real shit, and this motherfuckers is trying to shut it up. I don't even want to talk about it no more. I'm just glad I started the conversation, because somebody had to make it acceptable to talk about it. Otherwise, niggas was just going to keep recycling this outdated ass 1990s ass pimping mentality. Them days is over, G. Hoes are selling themselves. You can still be a nigga with swag. You can still have game. You can still fuck these hoes for the low. Just ask yourself if you really working hard for it. Pussy ain't something you should have to work hard for. I don't believe that. All the time and the risk you take depending on what type of chicks you trying to smash, and the stress that it may cause you, and the opportunity cost that it may cost you with all the time you invest in pursuing a chick that you really don't want a relationship with, you just want to fuck. Even the status that you give to some women by even having them around you, because women benefit from being around you, being around your friends, all of that. They all prices that we pay as men. We talk about this all the time in the MGTOW community. Look up Briffel's Law of the Animal Kingdom. It say something along the lines of the female, not the male, determines all of the conditions of any interaction. And where the female derives no benefit from the interaction, no such interaction takes place. All relationships are transactional, bro. It's just a matter of your preference on method of payment. If you prefer to give a woman your time and energy for some ass, that's you. That's cool. I do that too. Ain't no problem with that. But if you prefer to just get the shit out the way in an environment where that's suitable to do so, and you throw a bitch some bread to smash, then that's cool too. Long as you're not ripping yourself off. Long as you don't feel ripped off. Keep in mind, I'm not horny all the fucking time. Some of y'all niggas, that's all y'all think about is sex. But if I'm somewhere and prostitution is legal and I see a bitch I want to smash, I'll do that. Even when I'm here in the States, I still fuck bitches occasionally if it's a convenience to me. But I already got the understanding, and I'm willing to make the executive decision on whether or not I want to exchange anything. Whether it's my time, whether it's my status because a bitch want to get to know me, or whether I'm not even trying to smash. I'm not trying to smash every chick I'm around. Some friends I have, these are childhood female friends. Some of them are business partners. Some of them are women that entertain me. When the last time y'all had a bitch to make you laugh? You want to go out to eat, you want to be around me, I need you to entertain me. Jap say if you paying a bitch, it's somebody smashing her for free. I know that. Some of the chicks that I smash for free, for the so-called free, may be married, or maybe in relationships, or maybe juggling different niggas for different reasons. And knowing what I know now, I know how to effectively play on that because I understand that taps into a whole nother psychological hack that has to do with the nature of women who just get off on doing shit they ain't got no business doing. So anyway, I'm already over 20 minutes. I guess I'll wrap this up here for right now. But in closing, I just want to say I'm glad that this has become a conversation. As far as the stopping niggas from simping, listen, we already learned we can't say these hoes. You can't say these niggas either, G. Stop trying to silence a conversation. You will be surprised at the number of men and women who don't see a problem with legalized prostitution. I've had this conversation with military men who done fuck bitches all over the world. I've had this conversation with corporate executives, with policemen, firemen, all type of prestigious professional people that don't have to, quote unquote, buy pussy if they don't want to. These are powerful people. And I think it's unwise and unfair to write all of them off as lames and goofies. Some of them may be, and some of them may just be men in positions of power that like the idea of having the ability and the option to do both. Same goes for women. I've had this conversation with women. Some sex workers and some are not, and they don't see a problem with it. Especially with all this sexual, women's liberation shit. If women are already fucking whoever they want to fuck, out of wedlock, and aborting whatever baby they want to abort, regardless of whether or not the potential father agrees with it or not, why haven't they legalized prostitution in the U.S. yet? They doing all this other gynocentric feminist shit. And trust me, nigga, it's not because America is oh so moral and altruistic. It's easy to see the more hoops men have to jump through, be it socially or legally, professionally, whatever, the more hoops men have to jump through just to get some ass, the more we put the shit on a high horse. If you could walk outside of your door right now and legally buy some ass just like you could buy some Chipotle, then sex wouldn't even be a big deal. Which means the women out here, especially the ratchet ones, will have to have a lot more to offer in exchange for any type of meaningful relationship with a man. At least that's the way I see it. Male thirst is what keeps the economy going, and it's what keeps everything in a woman's favor. That's what keeps these nightclubs so fucking expensive. That's what keeps these dating sites a fucking sausage fest when it's like 20 dudes to one female. It's what keeps these thirst trap ass females making a killing, G. Making a killing off of the attention, over the white knights, over the simps that is tricking and ain't getting no ass, and y'all niggas that's trying to spit game to these hoes, overinflating they fucking egos. And I guarantee you, if it was just as easy to walk outside and get some ass like it is to get some food, the fucking dating market would be totally fucking different, bro. Totally different. So I'm gonna end this right here, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Peace.